Everybody. Today's session is going to be calling upon you to really put your well-being, your mental empowerment first and foremost. If you think back about this week, the times you felt good, the times you felt bad, if you think about all the people in your life, all across the world, see the joy and the suffering, see the skillful states of mind, and see all the unskillful states of mind. My aim for you today is that you leave this session loving skillful states of mind, cherishing that it takes practice every day, a few times a day, to make infinite bliss and happiness and profound peace. And we can do it, and it's so beautiful and so worthwhile that's just brimming in your mind throughout the day, taking time to feel great, watching how you think about yourself and how you do things. And anytime you think, how am I here? You let yourself imagine being awesome. You let yourself practice being awesome. I want to make at the core of how you think about yourself and life this knowing that we can create skillful states of mind. We can create beautiful feelings. And not just that we can, if we choose to keep doing that, that is the life we get. And that is the gift we can give to people around us. And I'm saying it strongly because I've said it to this group and to tens of thousands of people, and it has this nice effect. It rubs off on people and helps them a bit. I don't want to help a bit. I want to shake you at your core that every day you practice total tranquility and happiness. Any moment that you're not in that, you shake yourself. Whoa, I'm choosing enlightenment. I'm choosing to practice peace and confidence. Any feelings or thoughts that aren't great, you just be like, oh, that's an unskillful state of mind. I'm never going to do that one again. What am I going to be instead? I want this lens to be with you all the time. Every moment, empowered and powerful. And if it's not there for a little while, as soon as you remember it, jump back into it. If you're caught up in some feelings that seem far away from peace, you go to breathe and meditate on peace and it's not there straight away, that's okay. You know, right, I have to take the time to reconnect to my peace, to grow the happiness and the strength. And then you'll always want to give that as much time as needed. So that's the intention for today. I want to offer that with loving strength, with a sense of, you could think of a word, but the unskillful states of mind, just how powerfully I wish them out of your life. So with that offering, with that intention setting, we're going to begin with today's meditation. So I invite everybody, whether you're here in the temple or on the live stream or watching this in the future, sit up strong. Give yourself an empowered posture. I pull my spine up, pull my shoulders back. I lift my head up. I'm energizing my body. Even if you're in VR, I invite you to close your eyes now. We're going into your mind. And then take a really strong breath just to catch your attention. Here I am, I'm breathing, I'm meditating. Notice your mind can do different things. You can notice different things. You can take your focus onto different ideas, different feelings. And I invite you to think to yourself, wow, this is amazing. My consciousness, if I choose what to do with it, I could focus on the things that always help me. I could practice the things that wildly help me. I could move into the feelings that are great and make them better and better. Wow, this is amazing to watch my consciousness. How precious it is. How much I want to cherish in every moment that I can watch my awareness and make it beautiful, make it feel good, choose how I want to feel, choose what will help me. Notice patterns of mind that aren't helping me and just strongly say no. I'm going to choose something else. I'm never going to do that again. I choose what to do with my mind. I'm making my mind, making my feelings, I'm making myself, I'm making my life. Let's take some powerful and soothing breaths as you just take yourself more into whatever feelings and thoughts that introduction takes you into. I want you to imagine every morning taking some time to imagine the day ahead of you being great. You make yourself happy, you bring yourself some laughs or some giggles, you mix that in with some peace and tranquility, you let yourself feel energized. Then you shift from the feelings into practical skills, the things I'm going to do today. You imagine having great conversations and feeling great in them. You imagine the work you're going to do, or the art you're going to do, or the sports you're going to play, and you practice being awesome. You're just wiring your brain up to be great. And then maybe an hour later, it's worn off a little bit. So you give it another minute, just a minute of bliss. Imagine giving yourself that minute to just feel good. Wow, I feel great, whoever I talk to. I choose peace and calm in every conversation. Then you're feeling good for another hour or two. And then some other stuff's creeped in a little bit. And I'm going to go even deeper this time into this beautiful peace inside of me. Take some deep breaths and just imagine diving into perfect calm. Love-filled tranquility, compassion, power. And then you spend a bit of time to practice your afternoon. I'm going to move through my afternoon feeling great, feeling easeful, enjoying myself. Oh, I remember that little habit I did. It didn't feel so good. It didn't work so well. Alright, time to transform that one forever. What would my ideal self be like there? Oh, that would feel so good. Oh, that's how I'd do it. Okay, every time I think about that habit from now on, I'll just think this new habit, this new feeling. Just flicking the switch, rewiring the buttons in my mind, going through your afternoon, feeling good, feeling the things you practiced, being the person you envisaged. Spontaneous, unexpected things happen as they always do. Just you step into your strength. You've been practicing that your creativity is on its toes and ready to be awesome. And so you just imagine responding playfully, powerfully, professionally, joyfully, enlightenedly. And that's just what emerges from you. And let's just play with changing our state of mind. So take some relaxing breaths. And after a few of them, body's more relaxed, your mind's either a lot more relaxed or a little more relaxed. But you're seeing that it works. So take some slower, more relaxing breaths and imagine just drifting into the most beautiful relaxation. You could imagine if you practiced that every day, just how deeply and sweetly you could jump into relaxation with just a few breaths. But we can also take our mind into any different state of consciousness. So you could imagine feeling lots of kindness. Think of all the people that you would wish happiness and peace for. And as you just think of all of them, imagine yourself just feeling really kind and warm. And just breathe into feeling kindness. And set the umbrella intention that with all these different nice feelings, it's just you cultivating a more beautiful state of mind. So any suggestion I give you is just adding to the goodness. So take some soothing breaths. And take some smiling breaths. Take some energizing, exciting breaths. Feel your body feeling energized, your posture sitting up, your mind feeling more awake and alert. Then take some focused breath. Imagine your mind feeling spacious and clear. Everything else is gone. Just this feeling of being perfectly present. Your mind focused on the feeling of the breath and the clarity. Then take some breaths of self-kindness. Just imagine the feeling of caring for you, encouraging you, wishing well, loving you. Remember that umbrella intention. We're cultivating an awesome state of mind. So take some breaths that you feel empowered. You feel the master of your consciousness. You feel that you know that you can shift your focus. You can create new habits, new feelings. Breathe into being empowered. With practice, the moment any thought arises, we can notice it and let it go and go into pure breathing. Take some breaths and just imagine that you are pure awareness. You instantly let everything else go, just completely immersed in the feeling of the breath. You are pure, focused consciousness. You can imagine if you practice that every day, how strong that would feel, how big that would feel. You can imagine carrying that throughout your whole day. You are choosing to focus on peace, comfort, confidence. The moment some unhelpful thought or feeling is there, you just see it. Oh, I'm going to let that go and come back into my enlightened self, my self-creating self, my imaginative self, my brain programmer, super hacker self, my optimized consciousness self, me, the script writer of my life self. Swimming in this place of bliss and love and creative empowerment. And now we're going to rehearse taking this best empowered you, just living from this place every day. This empowered you. Each time you step into it, you know you can be even more peace, even more confidence, even more creativity. Every time you step into it, you explore different ways of applying your empowered self, new feelings to grow, new ways that you can transform old ways of being, more empowered ways of creating new ways of being. Visualize throughout your day, the morning, you spend some time to tap into feeling great. And you spend enough time in there that you're feeling that feeling great enough that you're going to carry it with you and think through that state of mind and see through that state of mind and be in that state of mind. Bliss, happiness, joy, kindness. But also in the morning you spend some time practicing, hey, this is how I'm going to be at my work. Or this is the skills I'm going to learn and I'm going to imagine being awesome at that. Practicing, these are the ways I'm going to talk to people And this is how it's going to feel. This is how I'm going to feel. These are the attitudes I want. And imagine moving through your morning, feeling all the great things you just practiced. Being all the ways you just practiced. When unexpected things arise, as they always will, you just take a breath, feel the strength and creativity in you, and from that awesome place, you feel how you want to react. Imagine it's an hour or two later, and the other things in life have started to creep in, and other feelings and the old attitudes are showing their face. And all right, it's time for me to stop again and give myself another couple of minutes to tune back into this peace, this happiness. I'm choosing me, the real me, the me that I would choose. I'm going to give it all the attention that it deserves. It's going to take over any of those old habits, any of those old feelings, anything that I don't choose, letting it go. I choose what I choose. I'm going to give myself these beautiful moments to feel into it, to practice it. So you could imagine the rest of your morning moving through with that empowered, strong, joyful, compassionate, patient state of mind. Feel how your body would walk when you've chosen how to feel. Feel what your emotional state would be like if you've chosen how you want to show up in life. And then maybe before or after lunch, you give yourself another couple of minutes. Perhaps you're already feeling great and you just dive deeper into bliss, deeper into enlightenment, stronger into, wow, I am empowering my consciousness. And then you move through your afternoon in the ways that you practiced. You could imagine on your way home from work or at the end of school or at some break from one activity to the next, you give yourself an afternoon meditation. 5, 10, 20 minutes of just peace, or just bliss, or just kindness. It's pretty short in the scheme of things, but it's profound. It's just so beautiful that you can give yourself this quick little amazing gift. And then your evening, you've made this wonderful evening. And then before you go to sleep, you spend some time just appreciating all the things from the day, telling yourself that even in your dreams you're going to be getting more enlightened, practicing, feeling great, being awesome. And you just remind yourself of the positive things you've been practicing. You feel them as part of you. You choose, this is how I think and feel from now on. And you sleep so deeply, so beautifully. And the next day, you do it again. There's this saying, eat, code, thrive, sleep, repeat. Brain program, thrive, sleep, repeat. Every day, just this pattern, this spiral of more happiness, more peace, more strength, more joy, kindness that overflows, wisdom in your words that helps others, being good at the things you want to be good at, getting better and better at them, being creative, being expressive, beautifully loving life. Hold in your mind a life where you are always creating, and compare that to unskillful states of mind. Remember suffering or frustrations, expectations, confusions. From this blissful state that perhaps you've created, it might even be hard to remember those unhelpful states. And I'd love you to feel in that all the time. Just unskillful states just gone from your life. But my intention, as I said, to think of those unskillful states is just to really see the contrast. And any time you notice an unskillful thought or an unenjoyable feeling, it's just a springboard to remember to dive deeper into enlightenment. And I really mean to do the work, to give yourself a few minutes or 5 or 20 minutes. Step out of that and dive back into the bliss. You know, maybe the tone of my voice takes you there right now, or maybe the words I'm choosing takes you there right now. And imagine giving yourself that. Make your own voice feel as soothing, as loving, as happy, as wonderful, as awesome as you could imagine your voice to be. Imagine the ways that you talk to yourself and the ideas you give yourself. They're better than anything I could ever give you. You give yourself your full creativity, your dreams, your hopes. And you refine them so they're just purely the goodness. Any of the expectations or the comparisons, they're all gone. You're just practicing how you want to be. You're just feeling what you choose to feel. Watching your mind like a fine-grained surgeon, a neurosurgeon, a brain surgeon, just cutting away any bit that's not awesome and just leaving the pure bliss. Carving the statue of this enlightened being into yourself. And now think about when you get busy, or when the old feeling kind of taken over. What are you going to do then to remind yourself how beautiful, skillful states of mind can be? To choose, hey, I'm going to take a few minutes and just always live from the most skillful states of mind I can. How beautiful and important it is. The skillful states of mind just keep getting better and better. Imagine a life of constantly crafted, improving, skillful states of mind. How precious it is, how important it is. Aiming to not just be in a nice state of mind all the time, but to be in this ever-improving, more enlightening state of consciousness. So for the last part of this meditation, I'm just going to invite you to think about self-kindness. Maybe as part of that, you could be excited or tranquil, imagining how you are going to cultivate yourself this month. And just notice how you're feeling now. Notice what you're thinking. Bring your focus and your feeling onto the best parts of it, just like we should every day. Remember and strengthen and feel the best moments. Remember the ways you guided your consciousness that seemed most helpful. How you did it. You can keep doing that. Or maybe remember the ways I guided your consciousness that seemed most helpful. And imagine you can keep doing that for yourself. You'll even get better than that. Just soaking up everything you just practiced, everything you just learned, internalizing it. I choose skillful states of mind. I choose to cultivate skillful ways of being. And this is at my core. This is how I live each moment. This is the lens through which I see everything all the time. Any way of thinking or feeling that doesn't feel good, if I see myself seeing through that way of thinking, I step out. That's just an unskillful way of being. I'm going to come from the place that is a skillful way of being. So as you start to take stronger breaths or stretch, just bringing this new you into your life. Bringing this way of thinking, this way of feeling. I choose skillful states of mind. I choose to give it the time and attention that it deserves. I remember how good it can feel, how spacious, easy, beautiful. And in a minute or two, anyone on the live stream or in the temple, if you'd like to share how good that felt, or something that surprised you, or some insight you had, I'm just going to open it up for us all to relive our best moments and to share them with each other. So I'll just be quiet for a minute while people think about what you'd like to share. And if there was something really wow that you experienced and you're like, wow, that's like bigger than I'd normally share, I just invite you to step into it and imagine how good it would feel to just say it with all the goodness that came with the experience.
I haven't quite a while.
Let me just turn you up. It sounds really quiet.
Okay.
All right, can you try again?
So, how's it now?
It's still pretty quiet. I set you to 150%. If you can do anything with your mic, would be great. But I think we can hear you just quietly.
I'll check if I
Check your default device.
Oh yeah, in the extended settings.
Alright, that might be a little loud, but how does it sound?
Ah, it's not too loud at all. That's perfect.
Alright. So, I haven't been here in a while. My old name was Ricola Tesla. So I used to come here about a
Welcome
um,
back.
and I haven't really, yeah, I haven't been coming too much recently. I've been really busy, but this whole meditation, I really thought was like a lot of that I blame other people and other like just situations of that happening. Like this patient, a lot I can solve, and now I can ways where I can actually.
Hank, I don't know if it's the same for others, but it's a bit choppy. So if you could maybe speak a little slower so that we can handle when it breaks up and comes back in and out. I heard you realize that you've been blaming other people. That's kind of all I heard in amongst the choppiness. Do you want to tell us more what you were saying?
All right. So the other part of that is saying I realized a lot I myself that I can improve on. And that meditation, just the whole process of it.
Meditation's the whole process of what were you saying?
Uh, meditation was. I was just saying meditation. This whole what showed me that I can myself.
It seems like you're chopping out at all the important moments. um, just want to
Oh
get
no.
everybody to think. I suggested meditating throughout the day, every day, and it's a bit like a choppy message. If this bliss and awesomeness is something you're hearing all the time, please give it the chance to just keep listening to it, to really hear how awesome it can be. Hank, I'm gonna move on to other people. If there's anything you can do with your Wi-Fi or connection or something, I'd love to hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna try and come back to you in a little bit.
All right, that's fine.
I'm gonna check the live stream, or if anyone here in the temple has something they want to share. Marlies, Oliver, Sonia, Zara, Creative. It's really great to have you all here. If anyone would like to type something, maybe you're writing right now what that meditation was like. I hope to have you all here in VR as much as we can. All right, is anyone here in the temple has something they'd like to share from the meditation? I feel like calling on Chef or Pops. The way you're moving, I feel like you're thinking something interesting. Would one of you share what you were thinking about just then?
Yeah, I was a little shy to share it, but I was thinking about all of the animals that like I've helped over my lifetime or that like I've tried to like show lots of affection towards, both with just like seeing wildlife and like going to zoos and taking care of my pets. And it was interesting to think about like all of those souls that like they were only here for a short time compared to like a human lifespan, but I was able to help them have a more happy life. And to me, that like fulfills me and makes me have a more happy life. So that's kind of where my mind went during the meditation.
Mm. I'm assuming that that felt good, and that makes me think it's just so nice that caring and helping feels so good.
Yeah, it feels like even if it's only for a brief moment, that you can have like a whole impact like on someone's day or their outlook on how things are going if you just take a few minutes to really listen to them and listen to what they're saying.
Mm. Thank you for sharing and for being here.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to share how they felt in the meditation or anything else? Delicious.
I don't know if you can hear my fan. It might be kind of loud, but
You sound
I
fine.
don't come here too often, but I try to come maybe like twice a month. And I feel like this month I've been my mental state hasn't really been the best, and I think I consider myself like an overthinker, and it does more harm than good. But when I come here, like what I think about is just it's a really good change of pace, and like it kind of resets my mental way of thinking, and it's like really nice to like get calm or like not worry about things that are kind of out of your control. Because I do
Mm.
tend to overthink a lot of situations. So
I would like you to think that you used to overthink a lot of situations and spend a bit of time imagining what would be the state of mind or the way of being that you'd like to have in regards to thinking about stuff. Maybe even think, how would you say it? Like just then you said, oh, I'm an overthinker and I overthink a lot of things. Like, what about if you never said that again, even to yourself, and you're like, I use my mind really skillfully and I focus on the things and the feelings that are awesome. That was just my words, just came out then. But I invite you
mhm.
to try and think, how would you say it to yourself? What would be the attitude that you'd keep practicing?
um, I don't know. I think maybe just kind of keep yourself busy and just not worry too much. I guess I would say just kind of have like a good like state of mind.
Awesome.
And I feel like meditating like this kind of like helps you be more calm.
When I hear not be too worried, I feel that um, I don't think if you could choose any way of being, you'd be like, oh yeah, I choose I'm going to worry a bit, but just not too much. Um, but when we say that of being like, oh, not too worried about things, that's kind of a reaction to the society that we were given where there's lots of worries about things. So,
Hmm.
yeah, keeping yourself engaged and keeping yourself feeling good. Um, Again, that was my words. I invite you, not necessarily right now, but I invite you to explore the way you would say it. Um,
Yeah,
and
I think it's like the saying goes like not thinking about something or trying not to think about something is the same thing as like thinking about it. So I think
Absolutely.
it's just important to keep like yourself busy.
Mm. So yeah, I keep myself busy and I keep myself feeling good, or I keep myself engaged and I keep my feelings and focus on the stuff that makes me thrive. Yeah. I have some more questions, but I want to for you, but I want to ride the wave of the meditation a little bit more. Has anyone else got something they'd like to share or reflections from the meditation? Chef? Geek, if you want to, it's your turn. Okay. So I want to look at that thing about not trying not to think about something is still a part of your brain is thinking about it. Don't think about an elephant. Most of us just thought the word elephant or saw an elephant. And Jimmy, sorry I couldn't really hear you. What did you want to say?
So how do you not think about something?
That's a great question. So we just did a meditation, like a brain training. So part of that was giving some skills that help with it. I'll come back to that in a moment, a way to stop thinking about stuff. But similar to what Buddhalicious was saying, is like focusing on other stuff is actually a really powerful way of being. Buddhalicious was just saying, keep yourself busy so don't think about it. I heard a little bit there that there's like, keep yourself busy so you're like distracted from it. Sorry if I'm not representing you well, but I'm kind of trying to caricature it a little bit to try and present something else. So I would encourage all of us to think about the kinds of states of minds and thoughts and feelings that we do want to have and focus on them. So Jimmy, I'll give you an example that was one of the first that really worked for me, that was very impactful. I used to be really shy, anxious around people, worried they didn't like me, telling all these stories about what they'd tell about me, imagining just stuff was going to go really terribly, and feeling bad. And so when I went to hang out with people, I remember thinking, if people could see my real self, they'd like me. But then I'd go and I'd feel bad and I'd be awkward and it just wasn't that likable. And I had years thinking, I wish I wasn't doing that. But that didn't help. What did help is when I started practicing what I actually wanted to be. Instead of thinking, I wish I was like that, I started being like, okay, what would that be like? That would feel good. I would be relaxed. I would enjoy having time with them. That would be really nice. And so instead of trying not to think about shyness or anxiety, I started focusing and spending time focusing on feeling calm, feeling good, enjoying being around people. And I did that 3 times a day, long enough each time to feel it and enjoy it. And then a month later, if someone had told me about being shy, I would be like, no, I feel good when I think about being around people. And I've actually had some experiences where I went out and felt really good. So I didn't think about shy. I wasn't caught up in it anymore. So then it just sort of became a word rather than something that I was thinking about. And if there is any things that you don't want to think about, there's always some way to transform it. Maybe you could think of it and be like, that's actually useless thought. So whenever that comes to mind, I'll just label it as like time wasting and feel it as time wasting. Or maybe it's something that would be actually really great to deal with in your life, but it's just felt a certain way. And so each time you think of it, it's like, and you don't want to have the feeling. But maybe you could practice, all right, so when I think of this thing, it makes me do that. So you get to phrase or rehearse how you want to think about it. I used to be really angry, and I could spend a lot of time thinking of all the terrible things people had done to me and why I should be angry. I practiced kindness meditation, and every day spent time just feeling bigger and bigger love. And because I was feeling love, I didn't feel like thinking about the angry stuff. And so my brain naturally just went to the stuff that was where I was feeling. So by shifting our mind, shifting our consciousness, it changes what we tend to think about and how we think about them. I also started the answer by mentioning meditation. So there are some kinds of meditation where you create something else, like kindness meditation, love for everybody, or I feel good towards my friends and family. Oh, that's nice. Like you're practicing something. Or rehearsing being good at your sport. You're visualizing and practicing, and you're retraining yourself with a new skill. It's one form of meditation. And you can do that to shift how you think about something or shift your state of mind so you just don't feel like those other thoughts anymore. Now, another kind of meditation is consciousness itself. So those of you who were here for the meditation, I said you're just watching your breath. Imagine just total spaciousness. Your mind's all clear. You're fully concentrated. The moment you see your mind doing something, you just fully come back to the breath. And so the more we learn to be able to choose where our attention goes, not just for in meditation, if some unhelpful thought or feeling comes up, you notice it, like as your brain's putting together that idea. I'm just going to let that thread of my brain just be gone. And I hope for those of you who've been doing breathing meditation, you could see how that works. And I hope you can relate. There's times you were breathing and you sort of started thinking something and you came back to the breath. Great, cool, it's gone for now. Maybe some of you notice that sometimes you let go of something and it actually kind of feels like that thing's lost its power. I don't know, maybe you thought of something angry. You came back to the breath. And now when you think of that thing, it's like not as angry. And when you've been spending more time in breathing meditation, like let's say you're doing half an hour a day, and you really are getting into that state of single pointed, laser focused consciousness. And then some set of things come up, stuff that's like been haunting you or troubling you. And you come back to your breath with such power. It's like that whole set of stuff just dissolves. As you've been practicing really letting go of stuff. Not just letting go in your mind right now, but your whole self letting go. Making yourself spacious, empowered. You know, I see so many modern therapy type things dealing with trauma, and they're just dealing with it for years. Whereas if you practice mindfulness and actually practice what it feels to just come to the breath, and then you've been doing that for a week and you're feeling into the breath, and you've been practicing just letting go of everything, whatever comes to the mind, what's it feel like for that to be gone? You actually have this like superpower, you can go in and just release things, transform them. And many of the big things that were like very painful or very confusing for me, I didn't actually go and work on them. I was just there in my breathing, doing that single pointedness, and one time it arose, and I let it go. So I just want to reiterate, I truly think practicing kindness, positivity, rehearsing how you want to be, living really well, coupled with breathing meditation, single pointed breathing meditation, let go of everything else, clear the mind. These two superpowers, they synergize together so wildly, so helpfully. So Jimmy, thanks for the question. If you ever rewatch the video, you left halfway through. I hope what I was saying sounded useful and helpful to everybody here. Perhaps him leaving halfway through kind of reminds me of the reason for today's topic. It amazes me that there are... Sorry, I'm just trying to make it so that the live stream can see us. Here we go. There are ways to change our mind, to wildly make our lives better. I've been thinking about making like a comedy series of the Buddha, and he's here and it's like 2,500 years later and he's just glowing and emanating, and he's like, come on people, I've been telling you, just practice what you want to be. Come on people, just practice what you want to be all the time. Why are you doing any of that other stuff? Why are you doing any of that other stuff? I've been trying to think about how to make that like funnier. But yeah, I think that there are these enlightened ways to be, and if I'm not presenting it in the way that's like captivating and cool and catches our like short video attention spans, like help me make it in a way that will catch the whole world. It will take over our minds more so than random junk. The goodness and positivity and kindness prevails. And do that for yourself as well. Whenever you see other things getting your attention, make enlightenment, make your skillful states of mind just so much more cool and inspiring. Like, wow, you can step into bliss. Isn't that mind-blowing? You got stuff you don't want to think about. You can in your imagination and just like change the color of all that stuff and shrink it down and laugh at it, redecorate it, turn it into stuff that makes you strong, transform it into, whoa, this is what I've learned from there and now I'm more amazing. Like, you can redecorate the warehouse of your mind massively. Like, so amazing. And to give that like time every day, like, to me, your mind is with you all the time and should be our top priority. Always be designing it. Always be creating it. You know, if you had a car and the engine was broken, I'd hope you'd fix it. If you had a computer where there was a virus or something broken on there, you'd fix it. Please love your mind more than a car or a computer. And if that takes meditating 4 times a day, like, it's worth it. It's so worth it. So, Bodelicious, I was responding to something to you. About the busyness and the thoughts. And then Jimmy said, how do you not think about something? I want to come back to keeping yourself busy, also taking time to come to meditation, shift gears, have that nice way of being. And imagine that your state of mind and your thoughts, they serve you. Think to yourself, hey, my mind is my best friend. The thoughts I have always help me. Create these attitudes and keep practicing them until that's what your mind, what your thoughts, what your memories do for you. I also threw in a bunch of other ideas, like looking at some of those thoughts and shrinking them or redecorating them, or imagining that thing. What if your most strong, powerful superhero self looked at that thought? What would you then do? Every time I think of that thought now, I'm going to remember my superhero self being stronger or being more skillful. And if you are spending time 4 times a day meditating, and once a week you look at one of those things, a month from now, your warehouse is going to be a temple. All right. Does anyone else have something they'd like to share, or a question or a comment? You know what I would really love to hear is, I've been saying a lot of stuff. I think that it's enlightening, life-changing, the whole world should hear it. I hope that for you, what I just said is enough that makes the rest of your life beautiful and awesome. But I wonder what was actually going on inside you. Did you receive what I was hoping to put into my words? Can my words capture the profoundness of what I was envisaging? What do you need to ask or think that would make it that awesome for you? What part of it do you need to focus on to make it so strong and beautiful and happy for you? Alright, if nobody has anything they want to say or ask, I would like to meditate maybe just for a minute to see what comes out. What's the next most important thing I want to share? And so I invite all of us to step into our meditative self. Let your mind have a vacation by just coming to your breath. Focus on feeling and hearing your breath. Set yourself the intention, hey mind, as I make space, just whatever most beautiful feelings, or great ideas, or transformation, whatever will be most helpful, let that arise. So just focus on your breath, feel the breath, and just feel you're making space for goodness. So, it's come to my awareness is the idea of what are we doing with our life? What do we spend our time on? Instead of asking ourselves, what am I going to do next? You ask yourself, what's the life that I want? What's the life that I want to live? Who do I want to be? And I'm not asking this as a question for you to just think about right now. I'm asking it as something for you to just keep asking yourself that. What are you going to do tomorrow? Instead of thinking, what do I have to do? What's next? Just like, hey, what's the life that I want to have? And you could ask yourself this question, and diligently asking yourself that, soon from now, you'll be living a much more wonderful life. Or you could be disinterested and go off and play some other game. And I just invite all of you to just meditate upon how important it is. What you do with your consciousness, what you choose to practice, and also your perspective. You know, if you're meditating on how to deal with some anxiety right now, is that the life you want to live? I'm imagining what you actually want is to feel great and have a good time. So in your meditations, make your focus be the goal you want to go to. And in the things you do each day, go to the life that you want to live. Sonia's just said in the live chat, to believe that we are the masters of our consciousness. Sonia, if that was a response to a question, I'm not sure which one it was, or if that's you just affirming that that's an awesome way to be, yes. And to come from that place each moment. And it is true, whether you're consciously choosing, I'm going to practice this, or whether your habits kind of push in your mind here and there, you are the master of your consciousness. Any moment you can focus on the breath. The mind can then go to other stuff, but then you can come back to the breath. You can go into peace. You can go into confidence. Truly can be the master of your consciousness. It just put that front and center. Whatever it takes to remember that all the time. Now I remember I was saying before, I used to be angry, and then I did kindness meditation so much that I just didn't even feel like angry thoughts anymore. I just wanted to be thinking and feeling loving things. I invite you to also imagine yourself as this enlightened, blissful being. Feel that enough that it just keeps you there. You've got your own hot air balloon of bliss and enlightenment and awesomeness that just carries you, that you want to keep thinking and feeling about bliss and enlightenment and awesomeness. You can do that generally about the idea that you're the master of your consciousness. You can also do that about how do you feel in social situations. Are you like thinking about stuff that didn't go well and hoping you'd be better? Or are you imagining, hey, I'm becoming the person that just has a good time? Wow, it feels so good to be wherever I want, just having a good time. Are you imagining that you'll be great at math and you'll learn how to do it and you'll think precisely and you'll visualize and train your mind to be precise? Or will you be like caught up with what's happening right now? Are you imagining that you'll be really fun and creative and expressive in your sport or in your dance or in your art? Like, set your feelings and your sights high and let that guide how you feel and how you think and what you practice. It's also important not to set that as something off into the distance. Imagine that goodness and practice it now. I am the kind of person who is choosing to be the master of my consciousness. I am the person who keeps developing more and more beautiful states of consciousness. I am the kind of person who has beautiful, loving, caring friendships and relationships. I make all my time with people really good. I am the person who's playful and brave. I am the person who makes time with people nicer and kinder and more caring. My community or my relationships, I just keep making them more enjoyable. I make myself feel better and better, and everybody feels better and better. Alright, it's time for any last thoughts or questions, and then we're going to have our closing meditation. Alright, so I invite everybody to think about whatever you heard today that seems most helpful. For me, it was the idea of having my whole family do a long meditation in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. And maybe more too. I invite you to just remember all the ideas and feelings from today. And then you're going to practice focusing on the one that seems most helpful. Take a deep, beautiful breath and just fill your mind up with some good feelings. A sense of ease, playfulness. And then hold your attention on that one idea. Envisage it more clearly. Practice what it would be like. Imagine mastering it. It going even better than you're imagining right now. It feeling even better than you were imagining. Feel that you're actually transforming yourself right now. You're actually changing your mind, changing your life. Just keep making it feel better. Envisage it going better. See the details of how you could make it great, how you'd think about it going well, how you'd act or what would happen that would work really well. Imagine that you kept thinking like this and feeling like this, and not just the one time you were imagining. Every time this situation happens, every time this part of you or part of life comes along, it just gets better. Maybe there's a part of you that's excited to just go out and do it right now. You're feeling positive about whatever ideas or decisions you just had. I'm going to go a little deeper into the meditation. Feel it even better. Make it even more easeful, more loving, more playful, more fun, more rich, more wise, more beautiful. I invite you to say to yourself, I know exactly what I'm meditating on now. I know exactly what to do. And I literally mean, say those words to yourself. I know exactly what to meditate on to make this awesome. You can do it. You can do it. You've done it in many moments. Just keep giving yourself more and more of those moments. Just keep giving yourself more and more of the good moments. Any of the other stuff that comes up, straight away that springboards to remind you, practicing ease, practicing joy, and practicing confidence. I'm envisaging it in a way that feels better and better. Oh my God, how good is it going to feel a couple of years from now when I look back and I've just been awesome? Wow. Yes. You're great. You're lovable. You're funny. You're kind. You're just as good as everybody else, or maybe better, in many ways. You're okay. You're great. You're fine. You're awesome. You have so many good ideas, so many interesting thoughts. You're lovable. You can be a really good friend. You can be really creative. You have so much potential. You're great. Let's just take 10 more slow, deep breaths. And in the stillness, wrap up the meditation, empower the meditation. You are the master of your consciousness. Every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening, every night, give yourself time to go deeper into that bliss, to make your true self, the you that you choose. Make that grow. Make that guide every moment. So I invite everybody to come out of the meditation. whatever you practiced, I invite you to practice it again tomorrow. Visualize it, feel it, see it, say it tomorrow. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Practice it again the next day. Let it feel so good. Let it change your life. Let it be delicious. Let it be easy. Make it a wonderful feature in your world. So it's time for us to wrap up. If anyone has any last thoughts or questions, so I implore you to watch this again. Remember every part that's life-changing and keep practicing it. The most beautiful feelings you felt in the meditation, go there again and again and make them better and better. Goodness must prevail. For your sake, please be enlightened. For the world's sake, do it, so you can give it to others. We can make a world where everybody is in skillful states of mind all the time. Your friends, your community, more and more of them in more skillful states of mind. Be that light to yourself, that kindness to yourself.